The last time that we had a chat like this was probably about, I want to say like 3 months ago. And a lot can happen in 3 months, especially when it leads on into a new year. So we're just going to sit here. I got my juice. So we're just gonna sit here and chat for a little bit because I know it's been a minute and there's a lot that's happened in the past 3 months or so, 3 or 4 months, that by the title of this, you're probably wondering what is he about to even talk about, or what is the subject, or what's going on, because usually there's a catch to stuff like this. And you know me, I don't consider myself like a therapist. Please do not consider me like a therapist. You don't have to listen to anything that I say. None of my advice even matters at the end of the day. But if it's something that can help you, I will do that. And I will say that because most of the time I'm saying those things to myself personally. But like I stated before, I want to be my authentic self. I don't want to be different on camera, in front of other people, in front of strangers. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather be myself than be someone that I am not. And there's been instances throughout my life where that has happened to me, where I thought I would persevere and not act different than I usually do, but then it always ends up happening, no matter if I'm in a work environment or if I'm in an environment with new people or with even just my close friends at that. And the past 3 years since the start of the pandemic have been an eye-opener, and a change has gone through me countless many times of the past 3 years. But what's crazy to me is that at the end of 2020, going into 2021, I told myself that 2021 was going to be better, and I didn't take that into fruition without really realizing it and saying it and being physical about it, if that makes sense. And this is where the subject of power of the tongue comes up. At the end of 2021, towards the end, like a little bit towards like October, I think, or even before that, like maybe even September, or even that summer, I think, I was telling myself, because there were still constant things happening, and I was telling myself that 2022 will not be a repeat of the past 2 years, no matter what happens. And I kept saying it and saying it and saying it, and I wasn't truly living it, if that makes sense. Hold on. I knew that there was things that I wanted. I knew that there was things that I wanted to change within my life itself. But got hard. And stuff happens throughout life, even within the time frame of a few months. And I was tired of dealing with bullshit, and I was tired of dealing with things that I shouldn't have been dealing with. So I started writing things down. I started talking to people more about manifestation and how that actually works. I talked to people about praying. I talked to people about talking to God, talking to the universe, and having a connection with something that makes you feel things that you didn't feel before and makes you feel better all around. I also got into therapy, which is something that I would recommend to anyone, because therapy was a game changer for me. And I never thought that it would be something that would help me as much. I know a lot of people talked about it before, but I was just like, I'm not the type to freaking go to therapy. And there's not a lot of people of color that go to therapy. I told myself I was going to be the change, especially within my own family. And it's helped a lot. But what's also helped me is journaling and writing things down, writing out my thoughts, my ideas, things that I want to be plentiful in my life, because life is short and I've seen a lot of things in my life, and I told myself that I need to just be at peace. And there's a lot of times where I told myself that maybe I'm just not meant for that. Maybe I'm supposed to suffer and go through things because that's how it shapes you into the person that you want to be in the future. But that's wrong. You control your life as long as you do what's right. I was the type of person where I knew that if I was doing wrong things that I had no business doing, things that I knew I shouldn't have been doing, my life would continue to be like this. And I was thinking like that, especially when my grandma passed, because when my grandma passed, it felt like I did something wrong and that I was doing wrong and I needed to do better. Like, almost like it was a punishment for the things that I was doing. And I said, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to keep going through this. And it was an off and on type of thing. But then closer towards 2020 is when things started shifting and changing. And it was a lot, especially during the first year of the pandemic. So like doing stuff like this, like writing stuff down, like I literally have the notebook right here. Literally, it says write it down. And I have all types of different like goals and manifestations that I wrote in here. And I didn't do that. I never thought of doing that, I never thought of doing that in the pandemic, thinking that it would help me. It was something new that I learned. I actually think I saw it on TikTok or something like that. And the crazy part is I noticed that after 2020, there was a lot of things that I wanted to change about my life. And it was such an eye opener. It was very scary because it was a new thing that we were dealing with. And I mean, we're still dealing with it today, but at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, we have never experienced something like this. And I was speaking to people about how they felt, like what did they experience during it. There was loss, pain. Some people had a good year, some people didn't. But I know that for everyone it was different because of the pandemic. And I told myself I would never be that same person that I was 2 years ago. And the crazy thing is that you change like every day. People don't realize that. You literally change every day. You're not the same person you were yesterday. Something affected you. Something changed you. Something in your life happened and you are not the same person that you were the previous day. Things always happen every day. Constantly. Stuff is happening. People are moving. People are hustling. People are losing someone. People are gaining someone. People are falling in love. Like everything is happening within the span of 24 hours, and we don't even realize that. And that's the one thing that scared me, because I felt like I was wasting too much time. Like, even when it comes down to stuff like this, I literally almost didn't. I was like, I'm not about to film this video, because what's the point, you know? Who's gonna see it? I gotta make the thumbnail, and then I gotta do this. Damn. Now I gotta put the timestamps, and it's just and then you start to realize that once you're in the flow and once you're in the go, like even right now, I'm like, I know I'm talking to someone. I'm not talking to myself. Sometimes I do think that I'm talking to myself, and I probably look crazy talking to a camera. But we live in a different age. We live in a different time where stuff like this is normal. And it makes me feel good to know that I'm at least talking to one more person. Previously, when I talked about it before, I was always worried about numbers and worried about how many subscribers do I have? Like, am I going to hit this goal? I don't think I'm going to be able to make this video tomorrow because this and that. And again, with the power of the tongue, it really changes your mindset when you want to work hard and manifest something that you think you deserve. And I know I deserve this. I know I deserve a community to talk to and people that I know will have my back, because there's so many people in this world and you don't really know who you can really rely on and who is there that actually cares about you. And that's the scary thing about being authentic, especially out here in Los Angeles, because people will use you. And they will continue to bombard you and make you do things and make you feel like you're less than what you're worth. And I'm not cool with that. I haven't been cool with that for a long time. And as I grow in age and get older, I want to be someone that someone can watch and reflect back on and be like, I totally understand. And I don't feel as alone, because, loneliness is a killer. And I was always afraid to do stuff like this because I knew that once I opened my mouth, it was just going to be whatever came out, and people start to judge you, especially online, social media, YouTube, all of this. People are judgmental, and they think they know who you are just because of what you show. And that's the scary thing, because a lot of people don't show stuff like this. They don't show their authentic selves on camera. They try to be a persona, especially when they're like trying to be happy, or like they're trying to make their vlog even more excited, or this and that. And I've never been a fan of that, because you can tell that it's not genuine, and it doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make me feel good when I see stuff like that. So I would assume that there's a lot of other people that feel the same way. And I'd rather be on the other side of the train tracks, where it's people like us who are able to speak up and be open with each other, because it makes you feel better. And there's so much going on in the world, a lot of stuff that we can't control, but the one thing that we can control is being there for each other. And I'm telling myself this now because I wrote all this down and I spoke it out into the world. Like, I literally physically said so many things that I wrote down in this book about things that I wanted to manifest into my life at this stage. I don't want to wait. You know, like, time is short and time is well spent, and I'm not going to spend it not doing things that I love. And if I have to keep fighting to do that, I will. But if it's something that can make that easier and make it come to fruition, I'm going to do stuff like that and physically write things down, my thoughts, my ideas, have a moment of meditation, of peace, so that way I know I can keep persevering and doing things that I know I want to do. And I know the future is bright. There's a lot that I want to do in my own aspects. I have a new job, which I got earlier. I think I talked about it in a live stream as well, but I never really spoke about it. I'm basically doing, like, you know, videography and stuff like that. And my thing is that I know I can see myself growing within this company. I would love to stay there, you know, for a while, but I do have personal things within my life that tells me I want to do this as a full-time career, that I want to be someone that people can rely on to talk to about stuff like this, even within the comments, and somebody that is real, because we need more real in this world. And I think it would be fun and it would be plentiful for my life to have something like that, because I see it happen for other YouTubers within time on this space, and I know it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I think my time is now, and I just want to, again, physically say that into the world, and now you're seeing it on camera. And I know that I can do it. I've always told myself that I can do it. This is the one thing, even if I've taken breaks, and it's okay to take breaks for anything that you do, because this world is capitalistic. It's a lot, okay? It's all right to slow down for a second. And I just think that it would be a better place and a better world if we had more connections and stuff like this to watch, to engage with, especially if this platform is going to be here. Like, why not use it for that? Why not use it to help people? Why not use it to make people smile, make people laugh? They want people to stay on this platform, promote people like that, because that's more real. That's what this real world is, from all different types of things. And I one day would love to, you know, make more and do more on this channel, but I can't as of right now. And I'm not saying can't as in I won't. Don't get those mixed up, because if I say I can't, that doesn't mean I won't in the future. It's not like I don't have it written down and it's something that I will achieve. There's a lot that I have done before where I said I was going to do that and I didn't. And that's something that I'm personally working on. But as of everything that's written down in this book here, this is stuff that is going to become true. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to be funny right now or try to, like, you know, be whatever. Everything that I write in this book is going to happen, and it's not going to happen within 10 years, 15 years. It's going to happen when I know it's supposed to happen, and I'm not afraid of that. And that's the one thing that I told myself I would never be, is afraid of what I'm destined for. I've also been reading a lot, and I'm currently reading a book that my best friend's sister, her name is Bianca, she recommended me this book, and it is by the artist Russ. I know a lot of you R&B heads, you probably listen to him. It's called It's All in Your Head, Get Out of Your Way. And so far, I've never been a person that's like, I'm gonna read a self-help book and the book was gonna help me, and I wanted to change my mindset. I wanted to do different things. I told myself I was gonna read more in 2022, and this book so far, especially since I'm an artist as well, which is something that I want to do more in 2022, is work on music. I told myself I wasn't going to do that, but I feel like it's it goes with what I do, and I know I can figure out ways to make it work, and I want to keep doing that. So again, that will be continued on this channel, but it's cool to read something and know that a fellow artist, especially someone that has started where he started from, can get to where he is and be able to make something like this that can help other people that are going along the same journey. And there's so many other things that I want to do, not just in 2022, but like in the future in general. There's a lot that I want to do before I turn 30, which is in a few years from now. And it'll be crazy to look back at that and see where I am now. But I just want things to be good overall for myself, for my family, for my friends. And I know I have to work hard, but I also know that I deserve it. I've been through so much, and I'm not the person that I ever thought I would be, especially growing up. And it's comforting to know that after I've started using, the power of the tongue and being able to speak up about my manifestations and dreams and goals, that I know that they're gonna come true, because I have this vision. And I know this probably sounds so crazy, but I'm being so serious. When I was maybe 18, 19, even early 20s, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what my future was. I didn't know if I was going to get into film. I didn't know if I was going to get into film school. I have my degree now. I didn't even think I was going to be able to do that, and so many other things. And when I look back at that, I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I talk like that? So negative. If there's something that I want, I can get it. But plain and simple. And I'm shook that I used to think like that, because that wasn't fair to myself or anyone else that even interacted with me, probably. And it's just crazy to think that I'm not that same person that I was when I was that age. But I know that I would be different if I did realize what I wanted and where I wanted to go. But I think when you're so young, you don't really, you don't know, and you don't really realize. But now that I'm growing older and becoming an adult, you start to really picture where you want to go. And I didn't have that vision back then, but now I literally physically can see it. That's the I know it sounds weird, but that's the thing about it. You know how when you picture something in your mind, you're like, yeah, this and that, but it's not complete. Am I tripping? It's not complete. It's kind of fuzzy, if that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about? You probably don't, but that's the best way I can explain it. But now it's clear. It's I see these little moments on a timeline, and I know where it's headed, and I know what I want to do and where it's going to go. It's really weird. I don't know, but I know where my life is headed, because that's what that's what I'm destined for, and that's what I deserve. So it's a lot. It's a lot, and I know it can get a little confusing, but I do recommend journaling. If you want to get self-help books, you can. I linked a couple of different accounts, Instagram accounts down below, that are therapeutic to me. They have really good posts that just uplift you. They have really good like connections and stuff like that, that just, resonate to you and probably what you may be going through, because a lot of us are going through a lot, dealing with depression, dealing with COVID, dealing with so many different things. And it's just easier to be there for people. And, I always reiterate that, so I just hope that you are doing well. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you stick around for the journey of what this is going to continue to be, no matter what videos I make or what else might happen in my current everyday life. I appreciate you, and I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.